En directo con otra vez un juego que tiene una hora para impresionarme. Y es un juego que, a comparación del anterior, es un juego que hace rato que quiero probar. Signed a Coder. Comencemos. Bueno, primero que todo las opciones para ver si tiene alguna opción rara. No, no tiene ninguna opción rara. Comencemos con los santos de Kotar.
Father, please don't leave. It's dark. The witch could be hiding in here. Don't do this. I'm sorry if I have sinned. I didn't mean to, please.
Usa el stick izquierdo para mover al personaje. Mantén pulsado el gatillo izquierdo para resaltar los objetos interactivos. Usa la cruceta para navegar directamente por los objetos interactivos. Y pulsa A para interactuar con el objeto resaltado. Bueno, está muy oscuro, señores. Yo no puedo ver un carajo. ¿Qué objeto? ¿Y con qué objeto tengo que yo interactuar, mijo? Padrecito, me dejó tirado. Usa el stick izquierdo para mover al personaje. Mantén pulsado el gatillo. Ajá, acá hay algo, ¿no? ¿No? Estoy pulsando A. Uy, marica. Estoy pulsando A, ¿qué pasa? Ey, se me bugueó el juego. Estoy pulsando. Mantén pulsado el gatillo izquierdo para resaltar los objetos interactivos.
My old nightstand. Mother said they threw it away. There's a matchbox inside the drawer. I can now try to light up the room. Mother, I'm in the basement.
Parece que mis padres están peleando porque me encerraron. Bueno, mis padres no, mi papá me encerró en el sótano y mi mamá... Machista el papá. Pero bueno, papá tan curioso. Iniciamos fuerte, la verdad, iniciamos fuerte.
Mother has dozens of the same in her room. Each has an engraving with a big scary eye inside a triangle.
Ya entendí cómo jugar, es que no explican bien, pero...
Mother has dozens of the same in her room. Each has an engraving with a big scary eye inside a triangle.
Ey. ¿Cómo así? La mecánica del juego es un poco rara, lo único que voy a decir.
Mother has dozens of the
O sea, si ves, es un poco rara. O sea,
Mother has dozens of the same in her room. Each has an engraving with a big scary...
¿cómo que pulsa la cruceta? No ha empezado el juego y ya empezamos muy mal. Usa la cruceta para navegar por el inventario y pulsa el gatillo derecho para examinar la caja. Y...
There are at least a dozen matches inside the box. There are at least a dozen matches inside the box.
mira, ya me olvidó.
Mother... Help! Mother! Help me!
Estoy corriendo. Oh. ¿Y por qué no?
You silly. What are you doing? It's me. I'm sorry. I thought you were that witch. How many times do I have to tell you? Witches don't exist. And it's just the two of us here.
¿Quiénes somos nosotros? ¿Tú quién eres? Victoria, ¿cuántas veces tengo que decírtelo? Las brujas no existen. Aquí abajo solo estamos nosotros. Mira, 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 mira. No seas carechimba. Si yo ni siquiera puse eso. ¿Qué? Le tenía mucho hope a este juego y realmente me está emputando. No es un juego que... comparando el anterior con este, estaba bueno.
Why are you here? I heard Father talking to himself before going to get you in your room. So I ran here and hid. But why? You know he's going to be very angry at you once he finds out. Because I promised I wouldn't let you be alone in the dark again. And when I promise something... You never break a promise. I know. I'm glad you were here.
Esa es mi hermana, por lo que miro.
You're wrong. Father would never lie to us. About what now? About the witch that cursed our bloodline. He's just trying to scare us with stories so we don't do anything wrong.
Concuerdo.
And today you did wrong, so he punished you by locking you down here in the dark. What did I do? I still don't understand. You talked to that tall boy. Don't you remember? We are not allowed to talk to other people anymore. They are evil. I thought that meant we must avoid adults. How am I supposed to make friends then? Mother said we have each other and God. She's right. I don't think we need anyone else.
Esa familia está loca.
The land was once such a beautiful world, full of life, a perfect creation of God. But her fate was nothing more than a Sunday morning rite, and the witch's curse just a fairy tale story. Evil is everywhere, my dear children. It is
Se
I
esconde entre las sombras de este mundo. Adopta la forma de animales y posee a las personas.
Father, please forgive.
You should look up to your sister. Unlike you, she values God and this family.
It's my fault he went to talk to that boy. I ignored him because I was looking into the coffin and I lost sense of time.
You must learn to be alone with God. You must learn. You all must learn what true faith is.
Man ya se metió mucho en el papel de la religión y le está pegando a los pobres peladitos. ¡Uepa!
I beg you, don't hurt him anymore.
Ya crecimos.
I often think about that peculiar day, but I've never relived it so vividly in my dreams. Why now? Why in this place? I need my glasses. I can't even think without them. Nothing here except a thick layer of dust. The fabric is full of moth-eaten holes, though too small for my glasses to have fallen through. Ah, here they are. Fallen to the floor, but still intact. Thinking of the dream I had, I don't remember going to sleep at all. We came in, and then...
Para ser una familia tan religiosa, ¿por qué putas tienen caras en las paredes? Y una señora que parece una bruja en la pared.
I must have fainted. I have to talk to Victoria at once.
Cuadro.
This woman eerily reminds me of Victoria in her younger days.
Pero ¿por qué te da miedo Victoria? Si es tu propia hermana.
I checked it last night. It's useless. There's not enough oil inside. It's locked. Victoria or Nikolai must have found the key and locked it while I was asleep.
O sea que es como las puertas de Colombia.
Is this meant to represent a basin? Like at the entrance of a church? This is blasphemy. That's not holy water for sure. It has a weird smell. It's disgusting. I'm staying away from it.
Pero sí, es... Sí es...
Those tall, dark trees strike me with dread, even in daylight. It seems like I'm not the only one to have that feeling. The path ends abruptly right at the entrance of the forest.
La chimenea.
A cold, black fireplace that hasn't been used in ages. The same feeling I'm getting from the rest of the house.
Pareciera que él no sabe dónde estamos. Oh. Hay caras en las paredes que él dice que es blasfemia. pero pues no conozco de qué tipo de caras estamos hablando.
Where's this idea coming from? For God's sake, how? Where's this idea coming from?
Pues...
Codex Neva, Heart of Pagopice, and Dino Tominic. I've never heard of these works.
Si tú no lo has escuchado y tú eres el protagonista del juego, yo menos.
Looking at it makes me uneasy. Nikolai,
Yes, Benedict?
where's Victoria?
I don't know.
Do you have the key to the house? The door appears to be locked.
I don't know where the key is.
Porque es tan seco este man.
Do you have the slightest idea why Victoria rented this dreary house?
I don't even know how she found it.
Looks like the owner is some kind of artist, or is at least convinced to be. Very morbid taste. Strange figures.
I agree. I've never seen so many masks in my life. Especially not placed on walls.
Concuerdo.
That's a strange painting.
It is. Take a better look at it, and tell me what you see.
Why?
Please, do as I say. I'll get to the point.
That is not a mere shadow. It's a symbol of darkness, of evilness devouring this lost man. Mean eyes at the edge of a wicked soul.
Los ojos, si lo noté.
A snake-like mouth implies a man who cannot be trusted, at the very least. I've taken a closer look at the painting.
You don't recognize this man?
I've never seen him before.
And nothing happened to you by looking at him?
Why would anything happen to me?
Last night, after your sister and I came upstairs, she was getting ready for the castle, and I was standing right here, and I wonder, yesterday when we boarded the train, was anyone else in our cabin?
You haven't answered. Why would anything happen to me? What's wrong with this painting?
I don't know yet. Please, just follow me as I go over yesterday's events. I'll get to the point.
Just the two of us.
But once the train left Budapest, wasn't there a man who came in?
By placing the sign, "Do not disturb" on our doorknob, I made sure this wouldn't happen. The only time that door opened was when the conductor peered in to tell us we have arrived at our destination.
And when we left the train station, no one was following us? Didn't Victoria notice him?
Notice whom? Your dear wife was over the moon to have finally arrived at Sveti Kotar. She couldn't stop talking about the place, but said nothing about anyone following us.
Right. And on our way to the house, we stopped at the square. There was a strange ritual taking place, with a gigantic effigy. What was it like?
And what about the mass of hooded people that gathered there? It was a dreadful scene.
I remember the goosebumps when hearing the crowd pray as one voice, though.
Let me tell you what happened after that. We found the path which led us to this house. What happened when Victoria knocked?
Well, we realized the door was actually ajar.
And the owner wasn't here. Just silence. Dead awful silence. It gave me chills. Once we entered the house, what did you and your wife do?
I said it before. We went upstairs to prepare for the castle exhibition.
Leaving me to wander alone downstairs in complete darkness. You found nothing odd about the house being empty and unlocked?
I did, but Victoria said it's nothing to worry about. So I just followed her.
We never went to the castle?
You don't remember?
The last thing I remember is searching for a light. And then nothing.
What do you mean?
I mean, everything after was only a dream. But I don't even remember going to sleep. Victoria dragged me into this town to make me attend that piddling exhibition in the castle. We never went there, did we? Which means I left the monastery only to spend a horrible night in this house.
We both fell into an inexplicable void. Something is terribly wrong here.
Tell me what happened last night. What's wrong with this painting? And where's Victoria?
I'm afraid I don't have the answers. What happened is that while I was waiting for her to get ready, my attention was drawn by this painting. Next moment, I was seeing myself relive yesterday's events. With one difference. The man in the painting was there the whole time.
The whole time?
He was in our cabin, and he was that gigantic effigy the inhabitants set on fire. Shortly afterwards, he emerged from the crowd in human form again, unchanged, and then led us towards the house. Once we got here, he jumped on my back and asked me to carry him upstairs. I was happy. I felt like a father carrying his own child.
Carrying this being on your back must have some weird symbolic meaning.
He was holding so tightly that I could feel his long and sharp fingernails penetrate my throat. After we finally got upstairs, I was so upset and in pain that I had to throw him off. I quickly turned around to reprimand him and instead saw a human-sized crow with no eyes and a blood-stained beak. It croaked at me and then soared inside the painting. I wanted to run off, but couldn't. I was in shock, too terrified. That was the moment I woke on the bed, fully dressed and disoriented. Victoria wasn't here.
Interesante historia.
Why did you ask me all those strange questions about yesterday?
I had to separate the dream from the real, as the dream was startlingly real.
Startlingly real, just like my own dream. We should leave this accursed house at once.
After I woke, I noticed Victoria didn't even sleep on this bed. So I went downstairs to check if she was there, perhaps. I found only you, still asleep on the couch, and the door locked. That's when I started to think.
We have to force our way out of here because we don't have the key.
We are guests in this house, and needless to say, men of God. We must leave without doing any damage. I've already searched this floor for a key, and tried to open the balcony door, but it's locked or stuck in some.
Mira, yo podría ser muy hombre de Dios porque yo creo en Dios. Y bueno, y en el caso de que yo fuera un santo como ellos, porque me imagino que son parte de la iglesia y por eso no quieren dañar nada, yo así todo, yo me encuentro en una casa maldita y yo rompo la puerta. Yo rompo esa puerta porque me salgo de ahí. Pues ellos claramente no lo van a hacer porque son hombres de Dios. Pero yo sí reviento la puerta, la cojo a cabezazos y digo, paque.
Just don't look at the man in the painting again. We don't want to risk anything.
Mira, concuerdo. Cuando veas en pantalla los retratos de las dos personas jugables, podrás cambiar el personaje al que controlas. ¿Cuál? ¿Qué hice? Ah. ¿Qué? Finish the tutorial. Prepare yourself for the horrors that are coming. Prepárate para sentir el miedo de lo que se aproxima. No me hables con maricadas.
It's written in an ancient alphabet, which I don't understand. Could this be the name of the man on the painting?
Puede ser.
This feels wrong.
No, no me parece.
That's a strange notion.
No es rara, pero pues si a ti no te
I
parece
need
ni...
light.
Obviamente va a estar.
Pretty sure it's not locked, but rather just stuck. Not sure what's the cause, because both sides of the door are heavily grimed from the outside. It looks like mud. It has a sickly odor. How did it end up on a balcony? If I could push it back with a stick or something similar, I might be able to open the door.
Vamos a la cama.
A yellow blanket, wrinkled only on one side of the bed. It's a giant tree with dozens of corpses hanging from its branches.
¿Por qué haría eso?
Skulls that feed its roots. A giant bowl made out of clay, filled with what seems to be some type of oil. All I see here is a lonely coat rack.
Bueno, arriba no hay nada. Entonces tiene una... Ey, ey. Yo quiero leer... Ey, no, yo no quiero hacer eso. Quiero leer la carta.
I've already read it several times. My passport. I didn't notice this painting in the dark last night. I don't like the look of this woman. It's driving me mad. I don't need that. My eyes fare better in the dark. It's locked.
El juego ya me arrancó a gustar. Ajá.
Doesn't look inviting, but I think I see something in there.
Ajá. Eso no estaba rojo. Eso no estaba rojo.
I should stay on this floor and try to find a way out of here.
Pero... O sea que tengo que encontrar algo acá arriba también.
Codex Neva. I still remember my father's exact words. This Bible is part of your body now. At all costs, you must keep it until death comes. It repels the darkness and keeps its fiends away from me. It's a personal document that allows me to cross borders.
Ok. Entiendo. Debe haber algo. ¿En serio?
A giant bowl made out of clay. Forgive me, God, but I must take this. I think it'll fit perfectly under the balcony door.
Pero niño, ¿por qué te...? Ey. Mira que yo soy creyente, pero... Tú te pasas.
I was right. It fits perfectly underneath. Looks like there's mud on the outside. That should be enough to open the door. My God. Nikolai, come upstairs quickly. You must see this.
Coming!
¿Ver qué? Déjame ver, yo también tengo curiosidad, no sé si hijo de puta, yo estoy jugando.
Come closer. Take a look at this.
Ey, pero Nicolai, ¿por qué por qué te vas para allá?
It's my turn to demand something from you now. Take a good look at the balcony, and then we can talk.
Ok, relájate.
Oh, God.
Sangre.
What is this? It looks like a mixture of earth, blood, and
Flesh.
a rotten wooden stick. I don't need it. Have you noticed these marks on the door? They were unnoticeable with the door closed.
I don't think these are just random marks. It's a symbol, and it looks like it was made by sharp fingernails.
All crows look exactly the same to me, but this one seems to be missing its eyes.
Indeed.
Sí.
Just like the one in your dream. You understand now why I wanted to leave the moment I saw this house?
Calm down, Benedict.
I am calm, but we both don't remember what happened here, and we both had horrible dreams. And now this. Can you still smell that sickly odor? Don't you see the connection with your dream?
Quizás abra la puerta anoche y vi la cabeza del cuervo. Podría ser la razón por la que tuve ese sueño.
Maybe I opened the door last night and saw the crow's head.
No, eso es imposible.
Could be the reason why I had that dream.
Doubtful. Something else is at work here. The crow looks like it's been recently decapitated, and the mud is still wet. Don't you wonder who did this? And why?
I can't think clearly in here.
Ya, yo tampoco pensaría, claro,
Inside
claro.
the stoop.
The key to the entrance door? Inside the stoop?
I believe so. Haven't tried it yet.
At least I won't have to walk over the devilry on the balcony and risk an injury by jumping below.
You think Victoria could be responsible?
If it wasn't you or
Mira que es
me,
curioso porque
who would have done it?
la puerta, la llave no estaba antes.
Come on. You really think she's capable of such a thing? What's the matter with you?
She may be my sister, but I don't know her anymore. I do know she's playing with things she doesn't understand.
Things she doesn't understand?
Things no one should understand. The symbol, the decapitated head, blood and flesh.
You mean with occultism?
Witchcraft, I believe. She's playing the role of a witch to play with me, unaware of the consequences that will inevitably come.
My wife is not a saint, but to think she's practicing demonic things is insane. You think she made us forget last night and influenced our dreams?
No,
No, eso
she's
es
the one who
imposible.
picked this house. Not you, and certainly not me. That was a deliberate choice with a plan.
And what would that plan be?
I think the castle exhibition was just a lure. Her real intention was to drag me into this town to play with my beliefs and fears.
You really don't know her anymore. What happened between the two of you? She doesn't want to tell me.
She became the same person our aunt was. Godless and incredulous about our father's words. Hopefully he's at a place where he found peace. Unaware of my sister's thoughts and acts.
O sea que el papá ya murió. Bueno, es que con tremenda juguetera, ¿quién no deja de ser creyente?
Key of the main door.
You already revealed your suspicion about the key. Why are you mentioning it again?
If the key is here, where is Victoria?
I don't know and I don't care. She could have locked the door from the inside, left the key, and then jumped from the balcony.
That's my point. It doesn't make any sense. Why would she do that?
I think she found a second key, because no footprints are visible in the mud outside. She didn't jump from the balcony.
Something else must have happened. Let's go outside and make a plan to find Victoria. Our minds are being suffocated in here.
No, I've had enough of talking, and I don't intend to search for her. I'm leaving this town at once.
You can't just leave. She's your sister, for God's sake.
She stopped being that a long time ago. Just look around and think about everything we discussed today.
I'll say it again. Something else must have happened. There must be a logical explanation to all of this. Why did you even agree to come here?
Obviously, I wanted to see and feel what it looks like in hell.
I'm not in the mood for joking. Why? She mentioned she had to talk to your superior in the monastery.
And what else could she do? After I declined, the only way to have it her way was to
Ah,
persuade
este juego es
Father Imre.
croata.
Must have given her his Father's blessings only because of the assignment he had for me.
Qué
Talk to the
chimba.
local priest about the town. See, there's nothing in the official Vatican archives about Sveti Kotar. And after coming here, I think I know why. Can we go downstairs now? I have a train to catch. I need to find that priest before then.
I'll accompany you, my brother. It's a small town. We should be able to find Victoria along our way.
Bueno. Algo me dice que algo raro va a estar abajo. Pues no.
I didn't notice this painting in the dark last night. I don't like
El exterior. Oh, esto es nuevo.
strange piece of art, I must say. A cold breeze is caressing my face. It's soothing. The sun is setting. Darkness will be upon us. There's nothing more in there.
Bueno, vamos a abrir la puerta y nos vamos a escapar.
Before we step outside, you have to promise that once we find your sister, you'll talk to her. There must be no arguments or secrets in this family.
Why do I have a feeling you are not leaving with me?
We never planned to leave the next day. Didn't she tell you? This house was rented for 3 nights.
She did not. So much about having no secrets between us. Please, leave me alone.
Good day, gentlemen.
Good day, sir.
My name is Martin Mostov. I am a detective in the service of the town of Sveti Kotar.
How can we help?
Is there anyone else inside the house?
No one. It's just me and him. Why?
Where's the woman?
The house is empty. What's going on?
We came here looking for a woman, only to find 2 scared men.
And
¿Quién es el
who's
hombre
the
que lo
man in the
acompaña?
company?
Dr. Eric Hatur.
Doctor? Mr. Hatur, is somebody hurt?
Dr. Hatur is the warden of the asylum. He helps the local police force with his knowledge of the mind.
Not a man of words, Dr. Hatur.
He prefers to keep quiet, just like your friend here.
Are you looking for the owner of the house? Because we don't know where she is.
Hand the key of the house to Mr. Hatur.
Why?
Just do as I say.
I see hatred and malice in his eyes. Even though I've never met this man before.
The key.
¿No tengo otra opción?
You're not allowed to go back inside. Please, give the key to Dr. Hatur.
I see hatred.
The key.
Think clearer and hard. I see.
The key.
I'm sorry. Did you say something?
I heard nothing.
Are we free to go now, Martin?
No, you both have to follow me.
Why?
Yes, I'd like to know as well. Why do we have to follow you?
Orders from above.
How can we trust you to be what you say you are?
What's with the face? You never seen a photo of a man with an intact head? It was taken before the incident.
Where are you taking us?
Down to the police station where everything will be explained to you.
What prevents you from discussing the matter right here and now?
I'm not in the position to do that. There's a hierarchy I have to respect.
Who is the woman that you seek?
The woman's name. The woman's name is,
Victoria.
What for? Why do you need her?
Sir, everything will be explained to you in the station. Now, if you don't mind, please follow me.
Whatever harrowed you through last night, it'll be nothing compared to what will happen if you do not obey.
Benedict, what do you say?
We have no choice.
All right. We'll do as you say.
Come.
Es un policía, a pesar de que no les crea, a pesar de que ey, ey.
Let me out! It's
No
pointless
joda.
to try. The detective has just closed and locked the door.
Dijeron que nos explicaban
First sign of electricity in this town.
acá adentro, no que nos
Guess one could
encerraban.
get lost by looking at this mirror for too long. It's so dark that I can't see my own reflection.
Es un espejo.
Why am I being held here like some kind of sinner? Can someone tell me what this is about? Anyone on the other side? I have a train to catch. I think I heard someone. I did nothing wrong, and you have no authority over me. Let me go.
Place all your belongings inside the box. Push it back into the wall once you're done. Don't try to deceive us. We'll know. Do not test our faith in you, and do not try to obscure things from us. Give us everything you have. I trust you for now, but at the end of the process, you'll be searched thoroughly. Decisions have consequences in this town, little priest. Now, please step into the light so we can begin. You seem to obey orders, unlike your brother in the other room. Admirable.
He's just a brother-in-law.
So, Benedict. What a strange surname. Donani.
Dochnani.
Whom do you serve, Benedict Dochnani?
I serve only God.
We all do. But you serve him in a different way. Don't you, little priest?
I'm a monk among the ranks of the Pauline Order.
Monkhood, a way of life in solitude and silence with God. Many believers say it's the only way to be near our Maker. What can you tell me about a brother of yours, Nikolai Kali-A-Kin?
He is a deacon.
That's not what he said to us. Are you trying to lie to me? How could he serve God if he's married to your sister?
He abandoned the path to priesthood to marry her. Deacons are allowed to serve in both houses.
After such a horrible past, God had to make it up to him.
What do you mean?
His orphanage days. The mass grave they found at the orphanage.
What?
You must have heard about the witch nun from Minsk.
Vaguely. I was very young back then.
Your brother was there. You saw all those decaying child corpses in the backyard. It's horrible just thinking about it.
I know nothing about him and his past.
I think you're just trying to protect him. It's useless. We'll find out everything we want to eventually.
It's the truth. I barely spoke a word to the man before coming here.
Quite an interesting family.
What time is it, officer?
Time is not relevant in this moment of your life.
I'm under the jurisdiction of the Vatican. You have to let me go.
The church can do nothing for you here. You, like everyone else in this town, answer to me and our patron saint only. Now tell me, what brings the three of you to our little town? It's a long journey from Budapest.
We were invited to attend the exhibition at the castle.
And who invited you?
Nobody invited me. It was my sister who was invited and who made me come along.
You're lying to me. No strangers allowed to get into the castle. Invitations don't exist. Tell me the real reason.
I was dragged here by my sister. What does it matter after all? We never made it there.
Continue obscuring the truth, and you'll end up dragged into Akhrizat for eternity. Nikolai is a liar. He's already doomed. But you, I feel you're different. You're not like him. We know your sister was at the castle last night. She was seen by multiple witnesses. Tell me everything I need.
Are you sure that was Victoria at the castle? How was that possible? You said strangers are not welcome. Has anyone seen me or Nikolai there? Are you sure that was Victoria at the castle? How was that possible? You said strangers are not welcome. Has anyone seen me or Nikolai there? I have to confess that something happened in the house we spent the night in. I don't know what exactly, but it was Victoria. She did this to me. Officer, can you hear me? Officer? First sign of electricity in this town. Let me out! Finally, am I free to leave now?
You both have to come with me. Again.
Why?
Oh, where?
Beyond the wall of crosses.
No entendí un carajo, pero está bueno. Saint Kotar.
At last, the grandiose Church of Mary. After so many centuries, still here, still holding up against...
What are we doing here?
I'm not at liberty to talk about anything. Now walk. The chief is expecting you.
All entrapped within heavy iron cages. Do you have any idea why we are here?
No, but I know what this place is. I overheard two officers talking at the station.
I heard the detectives say this is the Church of Mary.
The officers referred to it as the Heart of Darkness. Said they've never been here until today.
Judging by the architecture, I'd say the church was built in medieval times. I was told Victoria was seen at the castle last night.
They told me the same, and I don't know what to think. Let's not talk about it here.
Ever heard of the witch nun from Minsk?
I see. So they told you about my orphanage days.
Victoria knows you were an orphan?
Please. I don't want to talk about it.
Did they ask you anything about the house?
No, but I suspect they will. The warden is here, inside the churchyard.
I can't believe this is happening to me. Never mind. Someone's in the driver's seat. He looks tense, wildly moving his hands and head as if threatened.
You made it past the wall of crosses. Through tall trees, unmarked paths, and unnatural, dreadful silence. Into the heart of darkness where you invited us to meet.
We invited you?
You have, with your deeds.
I don't understand. What is this place? Why are we here?
This church was built with one purpose only. to repel evil from the Carcassa forest. It failed miserably, and was absorbed by darkness instead.
Chief, we'd appreciate it if you could tell us what's going on.
Words are unnecessary. Light always reveals. Lights on, officer! Now, take a good look.
Guardemos. Que no he guardado y no quiero que se me pierda lo que he hecho, así que
Never mind. God.
ey, ¿eso quién es? Man tan feo, ¿quién es? El boliqueso ese,
What?
¿quién?
Tell us, why are we here?
Lights off! Ranko Merzel, the beloved mayor of Sveti Kotar, hanging up there all alone with a dreaded yellow mask. Underneath the mask, he has nothing left. His face ripped off, his eyes gouged out and eaten, his skull cut open, and parts of his brain eaten. All whilst alive, tortured cruelly by the moon ghouls, or those that want to become one. In the very end, his chest and abdomen were torn and his heart ripped out, to be devoured.
His body is still up there. How could you possibly know all these things?
We don't have to pull him down to know what happened. We've seen this too many times in our lives.
Who are the moon ghouls?
Saborans is their name. Servants of the moon demons. Some people believe they're not humans, but rather evil entities that take human form. We don't know who they are. They're hiding in the shadows, impossible to find.
This is a horrific crime scene. We shouldn't be here.
Is this the way you welcome strangers in your town?
We know the mayor was murdered by Nermin, a man who decided to worship the moon deities. The past teaches us we are unable to see the true soul of other people, no matter how close they are to us.
So you interrogate strangers and tell them of the existence of malicious beings, and in the end you show them their prey?
Nermin didn't feast on the mayor's corpse alone. There was someone else who joined the ritual.
The name Nermin doesn't mean anything to us.
We're here for the first time in our lives, Chief. What do you want from us?
Lies. All lies. Where's Victoria? Or should I call her Petra instead?
What do you mean?
We know she used the name Petra when introducing herself around town.
Our mother's name.
We just don't know where she's hiding, and we need you to tell us.
No lo sabemos.
Why do you think she's hiding? We don't know. When we woke, she wasn't in the house.
It was our plan to go looking for her, but then your men intercepted us. We don't know where she is.
Do not try to make a fool of me. She was seen pushing a man from the castle roof last night. When we found his severed head, he wore a yellow mask. We know she helped Nermin. Her scratch pad was found up in the belfry, amongst pieces of human flesh. If you want us to search for her, fine. Once we find her, she'll face the same fate as Nermin. They'll beg us to end their lives.
Why would she help Nermin? A complete stranger to her.
The Saborans cult needed a witch among them. Morbidity and the occult fascinate her. She's your sister. You should know that.
This is insane. My wife would never do harm to anyone, let alone join a cannibal cult.
Who was the man she allegedly pushed from the roof?
We're still trying to fish his body parts from the chasm below the castle. Whoever he was, he's just one piece of the puzzle.
How can you be so sure of her guilt? What proof do you have?
We found her belongings in the belfry, and her coat in the woods, not so far from here.
Coat? How do you know it's hers?
A coat, badly damaged, with blood stains. Her wallet and personal ID were inside. But we also found something else next to it. An eviscerated fetus.
My sister was pregnant?
She still is. Don't you understand what they're trying to do here?
Victoria sacrificed her unborn child to the moon demons.
No. This is not possible. She would never.
We know she's hiding somewhere, and we know you're lying, which makes you her and Nermin's accomplices. She even tried to make us believe she killed herself after the murders.
Why do you think she tried to fake her own death?
There was a suicide note in her coat. Many have taken their own lives in this forest. She thought she could trick us with a message of repentance. Pathetic.
An accomplice? I fell asleep the moment we entered that house. I am a man of God. How dare you put such sin on my soul?
I've seen many people say or think they're godly men. That means nothing. Faith is more than mere words. You clearly don't have any intention to help us, but we might have means to change your mind.
No entiendo.
Do you really think we would be lying? Is my wife really capable of committing such atrocities?
Look around. Can you smell death? Can you sense wickedness? Of course I believe that. This is a cursed land. And I don't know who you are, and I don't trust you. None of you. Take them away. Make them talk.
Gentlemen, you know how this works. Follow me.
Why have we stopped, Detective?
Someone needs to help you out. I'm letting you go.
All of a sudden you want to help us? Why?
Your sister came here to join a madman? She chose this town to fulfill her occult desires? And you're helping her to hide. That's insane. Maybe she got kidnapped by Nermin and... I don't know. You must find her as quickly as possible.
Chief Noren will be furious with you.
I never lied to him. Or at least it's what he thinks. He won't question my decision to let you leave. But you have to give me your word you won't leave town. We have your passports, but one can always find a way out if he wants to.
We promise.
I wouldn't question a word from two priests.
I promise.
Start your search with the warden.
Dr. Hatur?
I was with him last night before the incident at the castle. He was already looking for Victoria.
Before the incident? Are you sure?
My head injury sometimes makes me have memory lapses, but you don't have to question my intelligence.
I'm sorry, but I knew it. The moment I saw that man, I knew there was something creepy about him.
I don't know how, but he might be somehow connected with her disappearance.
Why did he stay at the house while we were being interrogated?
He wanted to make sure Victoria wasn't there, but to tell you the truth, I think he had other reasons. I'm not sure.
Could he be found at a mental hospital?
Oh no. You can't possibly get to the Modo Asylum. It's off limits for non-staff or non-inmates. The doctor resides at the only lodge in this town, the Goldine Lodge. That's where you should go first.
Where's this lodge located?
From here, go down towards the lake. Once you reach the shore, go left. You can't miss it.
Could you give me my belongings back?
That I cannot do. I'm sorry.
What time is it?
I don't know, but it's getting late and you should act immediately.
The train is about to leave soon. We have to go now.
A few words of advice before we part ways. There is a reason why this town looks desolate, even in broad daylight. Don't get yourself fooled by the lights you see here. This soil is cursed, and the air tainted with wickedness. I know you can sense it. It's the opposite of what you're used to. Be wary while wandering around. Under no circumstances you should go into the forest or onto the mountain. They are forbidden. Stick to the town. The moon ghouls are impossible to find, except for when it's too late for oneself. God bless you all. I hope you find salvation in spite of the horror all around you.
Qué chimba de juego, mano. Me encantó este juego, la verdad. Qué bacano este juego. Sign Kotar.
I'm going to the lodge. You should go back to the house in case Victoria comes back.
Oh, hell no.
I don't know my sister anymore. She became a person I've dreaded my whole life. She's a devil worshipper, a murderer, a person acting against God. Who is she? How could she change so much?
Since when do you trust other people? They are lying, Benedict. Victoria is innocent.
Did she drag me here to sacrifice me? Like she did with her unborn child?
Hey, she did not do that. Our child is not dead. The chief is lying. Before this journey, when was the last time you saw her?
A couple of years ago, I guess.
I see and talk to her every waking hour since we married. People don't change that much. She's a good person.
They don't change. They just strip the facade and show their true self. If they are lying, how do you explain her scratch pad in the belfry?
I don't know.
And what about her coat? Or the fact that she used my mother's name to introduce herself?
We should ask if this is true. The only person she spoke to after arriving here is the lady from the souvenir shop over there.
Don't forget, she was seen pushing a man from the castle's roof by multiple witnesses.
Maybe she was assaulted. We don't know who that man is, and what really happened last night. If we don't succeed in finding her soon, going to the castle is something we should consider. And this is partly on us. If we weren't so weak, we wouldn't have been drowned into a nightmare cycle of dreams.
En eso concuerdo.
Around you. It's already night, for God's sake.
I've noticed. It means we slept for more than half a day.
Even when dead tired, one can never sleep that much. It's unnatural. The house definitely did this. Because we were weak.
It's my fault? It was her idea to make me come here, and she picked that damned house. How do you explain the balcony horror?
You're right. I'm sorry. I don't know how to explain many things. I'm just trying to find a meaning in all this madness. We should move, brother. She might already be back at the house. Or in danger at the hands of that warden.
No. I'm leaving.
You what?
Given the circumstances, Father Imre will understand why I didn't talk to the priest of Sveti Kotar.
But he will judge you if you leave your sister here.
I'm leaving. Going back to Budapest.
You won't make it past the border. You don't have your passport.
I'll be fine. I don't care about Victoria and what she got into. God will be her judge.
God will condemn you for leaving your sister to die here. Open your eyes! She's the only real family you have.
My family died the day my father left us.
If you leave, you will pursue your own selfish desires, not his will and words. She was accused wrongly. You need to stay here and help me find her in the name of faith.
She's already dead.
Benedict? Don't you dare turn your back on your sister!
I left and never looked back. Never saw my sister again. But I had a happy and fulfilled life, as I was alone. Alone. With God.
Es un final secreto. Logré un final secreto. ¡Qué putas! ¡Qué putas! San Kotar. Ey, manito, terminé. Terminé. Qué cara de chimba. Mano, terminé. Terminé un final secreto. Qué cara de chimba. Ay, pana. Muy bueno, mano, pero no. Bueno, por ahora el juego tiene un 10 de 10. Un juego que me encantó. Y quiero continuar. Ey, esto... Se puede continuar, pero el juego terminó. ¿Continuar qué? Si el juego terminó, papá. ¿Qué continúo?
Why have we stopped, Detective?
So,
Oh,
Chief Norton.
I never. But we.
Chief.
I never. We.
All of
You.
Could you?
That.
Doctor.
Happy. My.
What?
You.
Could he?
Oh, no. From.
We have.
The moon.
We have to split, Benedict. I'm going to...
I don't know my sister anymore. She became a person I've dreaded my whole. I don't care.
She's the... She was a...
You think she might?
Could be. It's the only place where she knows we might be. Are you going to help me?
I'm going to the house, and if she's there, I'm leaving at once.
You both wait on me, but stay out of the house and hide somewhere outside. The warden or the police might come back. I'm going to the lodge. Be careful.
Mira, cabrón, ¿por qué tú puedes ir a la posada y yo tengo que ir hasta la casa de los cojones? Ey. Espérate. ¿Qué es esto? Vamos poco a poco, espérate. Déjame averiguar qué hay para hacer. Aquí.
Souvenirnica Lavenjak. Ah, the drawing makes perfect sense. Lav in Croatian should mean lion.
Ok. Todavía tengo mi Biblia.
It evokes a repulsive feeling, and I guess that is its purpose, but I'm not sure it's something God would approve of, no matter the cause. Tiny chairs of torture and bells. I must say they are faithfully recreated to the smallest detail. Statues and death masks of Ivan Kotar, and some small-sized replicas of the torture wheel.
Pero ¿por qué tendrían ese tipo de juguetes?
They look so awkward and unnatural, as if made by someone who never saw them living. Weird executioner masks. They genuinely look old. A strange, tiny-sized tree with red leaves. Growing out of a head vase makes it even stranger, if not morbid. Madam?
Do I look like a madam to you?
Well...
You're going to make me blush, sir. Welcome to my little hut. My name's Ida Lavnjak.
What book are you reading?
The Divine Comedy. I needed something to cheer me up.
So where's Dante now?
Who?
Dante, the hero of the book? In what part of the book are you now?
Oh yes, how silly of me. He's in a dark forest and there are beasts he cannot evade. I think they symbolize something else.
Sins. The beasts represent the self-indulgent, the violent, and the malicious.
Oh, that's interesting. You know, the book intrigued me because the descriptions of where he is in the beginning reminded me of this valley. Does that make sense to you? I told this to my father and he scolded me right away.
You are quite right, madam.
Now all we need is our Virgil to rescue us.
How come you weren't dressed as a priest last night?
That question.
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry, nothing against you. But it's the same annoying question that keeps coming back at me, like a bat flapping in circles year after year. I see October 28th on the calendar, and I know what's coming to bite me.
So what's the reason?
I tell everyone I can't wear it because I have to work. But the truth is, I don't believe it will make a difference if I did. In general, the ritual doesn't make a difference.
Why does everyone else wear it?
Because the inhabitants believe we are all disciples of Ivan Kotar, and so we have to dress like them on the day. Not just in the evening when the effigy is set on fire, but all the time, from dawn to dusk.
But what is the reasoning behind it? The dress is just a terrifying shadow of what a priest's robe should look like.
There's a belief that wearing it scares off demons, witches, and other evil spirits. I guess the darker it looks, the scarier it is. I don't know.
The effigy turned into ash last night. What does it represent?
A demon slave of the moon god. The effigy ritual marks the end of the day of Ivan Kotar. People gather on the square, they pray and chant as one voice. Which sounds beautiful. It's the best part. No, it's the only part of the day I love.
I thought the exact opposite. It was a disturbing scene, and I felt true, primal fear.
Then the mayor comes out and everyone stops. And when the last words leave his mouth, the effigy is finally set on fire.
Has anyone been hurt over the years? The fire spreads very quickly, a wide and massive whirl as if ignited from the darkest of places.
No, not that I recall of. Why? Oh, you mean because they stand so close to the figure?
Yes, and because it could come down at any moment. It's so tall that nearby buildings could be hit.
Nothing to worry about. God is protecting them. Or at least it's what they believe. Oh, and those who are tasked with creating the effigy are given a free pass into the forest. Can you guess why?
No.
You haven't even tried to guess. Because it's made of black wood, plant roots, and undergrowth from Carcassa. Slaves of the moon god supposedly live or dwell as spirits if they are dead inside the forest, and so, you know. Some of the townsfolk even swear to hear the wailing of demons the whole night after the fire. I don't know.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Madam?
Hello.
I already know your name.
How? Do I know you?
Not really, but you know my sister. I was with her last night.
Oh, yes, I remember now. The shy and anxious older brother, Benedict. Or should I say, monk Benedict.
She said that?
No, sir, it's just the way you looked. Why didn't you come closer when we called you?
Her eyes focused somewhere behind me, with a weary and terrified gaze.
It's alright, you don't have to answer. Where's Victoria?
She disappeared.
Oh no, not her, not again. I hope she's not another victim of the moon.
Have you seen her today?
No, I don't think so.
Last night, did she come back after we left the square?
There were a lot of people here long after that, and I was preparing to close, so I really couldn't say. What's going on?
She was seen pushing a man from the castle's roof last night.
I heard about that accident this morning. She did that. She really pushed that man.
Eyewitnesses saw her.
Liars. Who are these people?
Does it really matter?
I don't know what to say except that Victoria is a good person. She looks so gentle and vulnerable. Like a butterfly. How can I help?
I don't know. Maybe you can't. Maybe only God can do something. Not even God. She's lost forever.
Vamos a preguntarle sobre... Oh,
You've
vamos a
heard about the
preguntarle...
mayor.
Heard what?
They found his body in the forest.
What? Who told you that?
Mercadería falsa y ser
The
un
police
mixado.
forced me to see it. The body was hanged from the belfry of the Church of Mary. Mutilated, disemboweled, and half-eaten by the crows.
Those animals. I'm sorry you had to see that. Poor mayor. I'll light up a candle for him today.
What can you tell me about Nedman?
Never seen him, but have heard and retold many stories about him. What do you want to know?
It's a small town. How come you've never seen him?
Because he's one of those who lives under the moonlight, while the rest of us do our best to keep away from it.
A moon ghoul.
The worst of them all.
Where should I look for Victoria? She won't come out in the open. It would be too risky.
Well, if I were you, I'd start my search in the forest.
In Carcassa?
Udav Mountain could be a good place to start too, but I've never been there, so I can't give guidance.
Carcassa and Udav are forbidden places, aren't they?
I don't believe what they say about them. The forest is a beautiful place. The tall trees, Pepel, the river spring, and the silence. Listen. Search the forest. Make sure not to get caught while entering, and keep your eyes open once inside. You'll be fine.
Who decided to forbid these places?
Ironically, the same man that was found dead in the heart of the forest, Mayor Ranko Merce.
You think his death had something to do with the decision?
No, I don't know. The proof of fate is a decree that he put in place soon after taking control of the town. It's a decree that compels people to stay away from the places on the list, and to report suspicious activities and misbehavior.
Such as?
Blasphemous and heretical talk, to name a few. But the decree's main objective is to find and execute those against or unfaithful to God.
She sounds like she doesn't approve of this.
I guess it's a good thing. I don't know.
You don't adhere to the law.
Not in this case, at least not entirely. You know. And please don't say this to anyone, or you'll have me tortured and killed, alright?
Go on. I promise.
Carcassa has been like my second home in the last few years. I can't get enough of its silence. I know what you are going to say. It's dangerous, dark, and forbidden. Listen to me. Sometimes it gets dangerous, true. And the mayor's death proves it. But isn't that normal? It's life. It's people.
It's life? Everything here feels rotten and reeks of death.
Don't say that. And don't talk to others this way. If we stop dreaming and lose hope, what do we have left? Look, I don't know if you should go into the forest. I don't want to get you in trouble or killed. I have no idea where you should look, really. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, I have something here. It might not tell you where to go, but at least give you some orientation. A map of the town and its surroundings. How does that sound?
Sure, thank you.
Glad I could do something. Just be careful.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Gané un premio. A map for Benedict. Ey, ¿cómo me voy de acá?
I dare not to try this.
¿Dónde estará el mapa? Hay un cartel ahí. Pero el man es demorado para caminar.
It's barely readable. That must read Sveti Kotar. Ivan Kotar. Sanctus Patronus. only dust remains of the thing that was set on fire last night. For some people,
Ey, ey, esas son fotos reales. Es- Esas son.
young Kadia, missing his love since June. Haven, last seen on the last day of February 1993.
Mamazota.
Our beloved priest and friend. Anyone found my legs yet? Beloved wife and mother, Melita Lovna, missing since October 1991 at the entrance of Carcasa.
Ah. Hay una, dos, tres. Vamos a esa primero porque quiero. Son 4 en total, pero. 2 de ellas creo que son tiendas y 3 son. La librería. Bueno, primero que todo vamos a guardar.
Who is it?
I'd like to ask you some questions.
About what?
Different things? Maybe you could help me?
A stranger.
Could you come out of the room?
No, and I don't want to talk to you. Take a look at my inventory, read some books, do whatever you want. I don't care about those knockoffs. And take a sample of the town's map from the desk. That way you can't say I didn't help you.
But I...
Stop talking. I want silence.
I don't need it. I already have one. I'm not a pest. Asom Tavruli at the top, and the other two are Maleos Maleficarum by Heinrich Kramer, and an unnamed manuscript by Herodotus. What a strange taste for books. White and red squares, a Croatian version of the chessboard. I'm no expert, but I'm pretty confident this is a 15th century map of Europe. Everything in this town revolves around that troubling period of human history. I'm not a...
Bueno, la librería no tenía nada importante. Tendría un mapa, si no fuera que yo me gané un mapa por hablar con la cucha. Acá hay otra tienda. Y después hay 3 lugares donde uno ya elige cuál camino tomar. A mí personalmente los juegos que me dan tantas opciones me dan un poco dolor de cabeza porque pues, bueno, esto es un bar. Claramente esto es un bar.
Lots of fog in these portraits. Not quite sure if it's a stylistic choice. The emerging faces are pretty ugly and creepy. An old woman with white hair, white dress, and big white teeth. She's doing her best to look happy. It's missing an eye. The man who did this and put it on display here is a brainless, primitive psychopath. It's just a mock-up of a strange tree with small red leaves and branches pointing skyward. I'm not a thief. Slips of paper have been squeezed in the fissures between the bricks. I'm curious. I'll read one. Voices now carry, shadows take form. Oh God, have mercy on me, for I fear the thing that possesses me. The wall of laments? Inside a tavern? Take my son and husband. Just make my agony go away. Forgive me.
Huh?
I'm here at your feet with you in my heart. From the day I arrived, life has been a blessing and this town a dream. I thank you for that. We are all captives of this place, imprisoned souls waiting for our Savior. Let
Ajá. ¿Cuántos? ¿Tantos?
darkness, shrieking, trembling. You left me in the mine, and now I have no God. Take my son and husband. Just make my agony. My days and nights are nearly over, so let me thank you for everything you've done. I choose to live in darkness. I choose to be safe. Yesterday, I followed a swarthy old woman into the forest. I don't know if it was an apparition. I don't know the reason why I did it. It was all blackness and silence. My heart is dark now. My soul is cursed. I can feel it. Have mercy on me, for I had such a weakness of faith. The dead are disappearing and the believers are dying. For the love of humanity, do something, Almighty. He who confesses obtains mercy. I was lost until I gave myself to the Lord, but now I'm redeemed by the perfect blood of my child.
Son satánicos. ¿Cómo que me entregué a Dios sacrificando a mi hijo? ¿Qué putas?
I had a vision of Ivan Kotar. He led me into the kingdom of Afrisa. What does it mean? My God, am I doomed? Bind their power, prevent their progress, banish them. My shepherd, free us all. That's it. I've read them all. This wall is just more proof how backwards and horrible a place Sveti Kotar is. It's a nightmare.
Logro desbloqueado. Read all slips of paper. Quiero una cosa. Qué curioso. Hablemos con The Boar.
What do you want?
Remember me?
Should I?
From last night? My sister and brother-in-law were with me.
I'm not a visual man. I don't remember faces. They dissolve into fog pretty fast.
So you don't remember my sister Victoria? The two of you talked last night.
Victoria, you say? I remember her glasses and name.
Did you see her today?
No. You lost her?
She lost herself. We cannot find her.
Keep looking and seek help from God. Or ask someone who thinks to be one.
Who would be that fool?
Fool. Funny you say that, because that's how I call him too. My cousin Norin.
The chief of police is your cousin?
Dominic Norin, the feared and respected law of the valley of Sveti Kotar.
If I decide to talk to him, where should I go?
You'll find him in his office at the police station. It's where he eats, sleeps, and fulfills his needs.
I've had a chance to talk with him already. He doesn't seem to know where Victoria is.
That means nothing. He's either lying or you're a fool as much as he is. Was there anyone else when he talked to you?
Yes.
He likes that. He likes to be on the stage, in front of a crowd. Talk to him alone. He's more vulnerable without a crowd. Walk into the police station. His office is the door on the left. Just knock and tell him Davor Gorski has sent you.
All right.
He won't care, so you'll have to give him a good reason to let you in. Luckily, that reason is in front of your eyes.
You? I don't understand.
A gift. A cleaver. Right in front of you.
A cleaver will make him change his mind? Is this a joke?
No joke. It'll wait for you here for whenever, if ever, you decide to talk to the fool.
Sveti Kotar is a small town. Where do strangers go when they visit? Any particular place I should know of?
Ah, glad you're asking. I got many recommendations. You should definitely venture into the Carcassa forest. Its trees are magical this time of year. Then don't miss out on the greatest view of the valley. Climb to the top of the Udaf mountain and enjoy the breathtaking sight. Lastly, take a diving course at the Lake Hali. I mean, forget about people. Don't ask anyone. Just dive. Just do it yourself and enjoy the rich underwater life. Your soul will be grateful. Grateful beyond imagination if you dip your toes into the spring of the Henna River.
I feel like you're mocking me.
I am.
What's the story of the bricked-up window you have here?
Human rats kept breaking in and stealing from me. The alley's pretty dark at night, so it was perfect for them. I couldn't find out who they were, so I decided to poison the food. It worked. It was all right for a while. But then the break-ins started again, and I said no more. Walls always work. They divide the sane from the mentally ill, and the rich from the poor. We need walls.
Thank you for the background story, sir, but I meant what's the story behind the slips of paper in the wall?
Of course you meant that. What else would you be interested in after all? I keep them because they amuse me.
How so?
I laugh at how weak and pathetic my fellow townsfolk are. They bring me lots of joy.
especially the ones talking to God.
You have a problem with faith?
Do I look like a sheep to you?
This is a madman. No, you do not.
Right answer, priest. Right answer.
I'm not a priest.
I'm not a fool.
What was that huge, horrible thing that was set on fire last night?
Tradition. This town has a history of blaming everyone except God.
God is never to be blamed. He has his own ways of...
Blah, blah, blah. I heard it 1,000 times before. People around here blame strangers, good spirits, demons, witches, and even the Vatican. Everyone else except the one they idolize.
The Vatican?
Crazy thing for a Catholic town, isn't it?
But why? And why do you say they should blame God?
Look around you. Talk to people. Stay long enough and you'll understand.
Tell me about the moon ghouls.
They will eat your soul and feast over your flesh.
You know who they are?
A cannibal tribe that follow the moon demons. The moon is the key.
In what way?
I already said too much. Seek more knowledge elsewhere.
Are you a taxidermist?
A what?
Do you prepare dead animals for fun?
I enjoy slaughtering them. I love my job.
So you are a butcher?
I prefer slaughterman. Why? What's this all about?
I was asking myself about that poor pig and its head displayed like a trophy.
You have a problem with that?
It's missing an eye, and
And?
I believe it's a mortal sin to torture defenseless animals.
You know why? Because you are one of them. Like a sheep who follows words and moral codes. You feel endangered, vulnerable, and mortal.
It's actually the other way. I feel...
You don't feel bad or sorry or sad for that pig. You're terrified because you see your own head on that wall.
It's pointless to argue with this man. I have better things to do.
Nothing to say. Good.
Excuse me. I'm not a thief.
You're not a thief, pero él dijo que te lo puedes llevar. No sé por qué no te lo llevarías, pero bueno. Curioso. Hay tres caminos, me voy a ir por este que realmente no sé.
Towards the lake and the lodge. I should go back to the house first.
Qué raro.
Who keeps a dead tree? 4 letters divided by a cross. V, K, J, and P. The Catechism says, after an angel decides to sin, he falls from heaven and becomes a demon. In the back room, I can see some sheet-covered furniture and a big candle on the floor. Nothing else.
¿Dónde está él?
This must be the lodge where Hatur resides. Just a boat, floating alone in the fog.
Puedo cambiar entre uno y el otro.
Hello? Graveyard silence. Hello? Graveyard silence.
Bueno, el marica ese no tiene nada más que hacer ahí, así que volvamos a este. La puerta está cerrada.
It's empty. Hello, youngster. What's your name?
Anton,
Atún.
What are you doing here?
fishing.
At night?
Best time.
It's dangerous to be out here at night, especially for a child.
Why?
Didn't you hear what happened to your mayor? And what about those moon things?
You mean the moon ghouls? I saw them once here on the lake.
What do they look like? What are they?
Yellow. Their whole body is yellow, except for the faces. They don't have faces. Their faces are shadows.
You were hidden somewhere?
They saw me, but they could do nothing. Dr. Hatur was taking them away.
Where did he take them?
I don't know. The doctor told me to go away. I didn't look back. He's always good to me. Always gives me food. Says I have to gain weight.
How's your fishing going?
Badly.
Wouldn't you need a fishing rod, net, or anything that could help you with that?
I'm not trying to catch them. I'm just calling them. I want to see them.
Mampa loco.
The lake seems lifeless to me. Are you sure this is the right place to fish?
I know it is. Mother Evelina told me.
So your mother told you to come to this very pier at night to try to catch some fish? She must be an exemplary parent.
She is good to me. She loves me. Look. She made this dress with bells just for me. Others don't have dress like this.
Others? Who are they?
My brothers.
Why would she give you a dress with bells?
I can call for help when others are mean to me. Evelina always comes.
Why do you let your brothers be mean? Fight for yourself.
I don't want to be mean towards strangers. Mother Evelina says it is impolite.
Your siblings can't be strangers to you. You live in the same house, eat the same food, maybe even sleep in the same room.
We live together, but they are still strangers. See, I think they know where their parents are. I don't.
Kid, are you all right?
No. I want to find my parents.
So, Evelina is not your mother?
She told me my mother and father are living here now. Somewhere inside Lake Harley. I'm trying to call them. I want to see them.
Do you live in an orphanage, perhaps?
I live in a big house. Above our roof is a giant tower with giant bells. And we have a big courtyard, with a big wall and tall trees that prevent demons and evil spirits to visit us when they leave their underground beds.
You know, when I was your age, I lived in a house such as yours.
Evelina was your mother too?
No, my mother's name was Olga.
Was she as good as my mother?
She always protected me from my brothers and sisters.
You also had a dress like mine? With bells?
No, but I would have loved to have one. Take care.
Goodbye.
Qué curioso. En serio, es curioso. Vamos a terminar la parte de este marica porque es que el otro huevón no tiene nada que hacer. ¿Será que? Ese es atún. En teoría. Bueno, yo vengo de acá, entonces ir para allá es estúpido. Bueno, me da la opción. Pero es estúpido, ¿no? Porque pues vengo de allá.
No, I have to find Hatur.
Exacto. Para allá el bosque. Pero me da la opción. No creo que me deje ir al bosque. Me da la opción. No quiere entrar ahí, pero me da la opción.
Goldin.
Ok. Entremos a buscar a Hatur. Para hacer un juego croata, y es la primera vez que juego un juego de Croacia, es muy buen juego.
I wonder, what's the story behind this bricked up passage?
Mira, Andrew Jackson. Ah, no.
Nicholas Handel. No food in there, just some tiny crumbs. Not sure about its usage. It simply looks like a hole. The clock is dead at the stroke of midnight. I see an executioner talking to small-sized men and women. I think they're about to be slaughtered. Pula seems to... Several people are calling for help, drowning in... Elderly women dancing with a tall, dark man around a bonfire. A man standing at the entrance of the forest, weighing whether he should venture forth.
Qué raro. Bueno, hola, me dejan entrar como si nada, como si fuera mi casa. Ah.
Branko Merzel. Martin Zudervliet. Natalia Pietrzak. Timo. Renate Zimmerman.
¿Qué es esto?
Victor, the 152 Cat Compa. Patrick Haverick Meyer.
¿Serán las palabras del juego?
Fran Merzel. Zazu. Peter Stiebel. Lake Kubilius. Michael Schminder. Jensen Cook. Ivan Goldin.
No sé qué es eso, pero son puras estatuas con nombres.
Sir, you cannot go upstairs.
Aren't the upper floors where the guest rooms are?
They are, but only chosen guests are allowed to see them.
Can I take this map? Might come in handy while going around this valley.
Why not? Nobody wants it. Nobody needs it. Take it. It's been laying there for centuries.
A map
My name
for
is
Nikolai.
At your service.
How can I be chosen?
Sir?
You said I have to be chosen to go upstairs.
Right. I don't know how you can be chosen.
But who's choosing? And why?
Mr. Weil. He's not here at the moment, and I don't know when he will return. Apologies, sir.
I saw the dark room, and the figures in there.
We call it the bust room.
Who are those people?
Not people, just sculptures made in their honor.
That's what I meant. Why did you decide to honor those people?
I decided nothing, sir. The owner did. Fran Merzel.
Who are they?
Fran, the previous owner who renovated the place. His son, Ranko, who served as fresh meat for the crows earlier today. Golding, the original owner of this building, who also designed and built it. And several former guests who had lost themselves in the maze outside.
Lost? They died in the maze?
A few of them are still alive, but lost mentally. For eternity.
How's that possible?
The maze is a dangerous place, sir. As old as this very building. No one alive or mentally stable knows what's really at its core. It was devised by Mr. Golden, for reasons known only to Mr. Weil.
He's been inside the maze. Mr. Weil?
He was. In fact, only those who haven't been chosen are lost. If Mr. Weil chooses you, you are safe to go. Otherwise, you venture into your doom.
Someone could just force his way through the wall of shrubs, or take them down entirely.
The maze cannot be touched. It's forbidden to do so, and the shrubbery is deadly poisonous.
Why would anyone want to go inside the maze?
There are stories going around. The townies, especially the elderly ones, say that Mr. Golden hid a treasure at its center. Some people come to Sveti Kotar only for the maze, and then they go inside without being chosen. Fools.
That bricked up passage over there.
Yes?
What happened?
It was bricked up.
Why?
Oh, I'm not sure, sir. That was long before my time. I just heard stories.
Tell me more.
I can't. All I can say is there is another way to get inside that room.
Where? How do I find it?
I don't know, and if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Apologies, sir.
I'm looking for Dr. Hatur. I have an appointment with him.
No, you don't.
Excuse me? How would you know that?
The warden takes no visitors here, only in the asylum. And I trust you are well aware you don't want to be a patient of his.
Can you tell me where the doctor's room is?
I don't know where it is.
What do you mean? You are the receptionist here.
I never saw Mr. Golden's room. I only heard about it from Mr. Wilde.
I have to speak to Mr. Hatur, not Mr. Goldine.
I know, but like I said, I never saw his room. Dr. Hatur resides in Golden's former room.
How is it possible that you don't know each and every room in this building? Have you just started working here?
No, sir. I'm working here for quite some time, actually. But I'm not allowed to see Golden's room, and I don't know where it's located.
How can I find Hatur then?
I don't know.
Is he even in the lodge?
Yes, he is. Look, you should probably ask Mr. Wilde about everything you need or want. I'm just the receptionist here.
Where is Mr. Wilde?
He's not here.
I know. I can see that. Where can I find him?
You can't. He finds you.
Who is Mr. Goldine?
The architect employed by the church in medieval times. He came to town with the Inquisition, designed and oversaw the construction of the castle, church, and court. He liked the place so much he decided to stay and built this lodge for himself. Lived with his cats until he vanished one day. Vanished forever.
What happened to him?
Disappeared. That's all I know. Mr. Wilde surely knows more, but he doesn't want to tell anyone.
Do you have a cat or a dog?
No, we don't.
Then why do you have a bowl down there?
That belongs to the King in Yellow.
Do you want to tell me who that is?
No, sir, I can't tell you who he is. Mr. Wilde is the only one who can.
This King in Yellow, cat or dog, whatever it is, could be the key to find Mr. Wilde. And if I can get to him, I would be allowed access to Hatur's room. Luca, if you'll excuse me.
Certainly, sir.
Bueno, es que realmente ya no... Pues... podría intentar preguntarle al chico, a Atún, a ver si de pronto con todo lo que ahora sé del recepcionista, le podría preguntar nuevas cosas a Atuncito. Que uno nunca sabe, de pronto sí, y de pronto me responde quién es el señor Goldín. Hey, Atún.
Do you have spare bait?
Why?
I need food for a pet. He is hiding, and I need to lure him out.
You want to see the King in Yellow?
How did you know?
He's beautiful. That is why. Everyone wants to see the King in Yellow.
What are you doing, kid? That must be painful.
Take it. This will definitely help you. He loves my skin. Mother Evelina says I can't feel pain. I use skin to cool my mother and father too. But they don't seem to love it. Only the King in Yellow does.
Thank you, Anton. But don't do that anymore. It could be dangerous if it gets infected. Take care.
Goodbye.
Yo sabía que...
It's empty.
Pues claro que está empty, no acabas de escuchar.
Just a boat.
Bueno, toca... Ah, espera. Ey, yo no cambié de personaje, no seas carechimba. Antes estoy en la mejor parte. O cambié para accidente. Who knows, pero este juego está muy bueno. Ey, se volvió de día. Qué hijo de puta, se volvió de día. Voy a ver si sale el muñeco amarillo y me voy a dormir porque tengo escuela mañana.
Mr. Wilde has chosen you.
Where is he?
You called him. He answered. You can see him now.
This room is the same as before, except for this yellow cat that just showed up.
That is him. The king in yellow is Mr. Wilde. Mr. Wilde is the king in yellow.
Mr. Wilde is a cat?
Mr. Wilde is the name of his earthly being. The body has an essence, a soul. That soul is the king in yellow. You can think of yourself as a lucky man. He loves to eat human skin. But I think he chose you because of the circumstances.
What circumstances?
Strange is the night when dark arises on a strange night like this with a full moon. Stranger still is the lost man, lost in Carcassonne woods. Dr. Hatour sang today's circumstances in sorrow, but the king loves this song.
So what now?
Ask the king in yellow. I'm just his servant.
I have to talk to a cat. Is this man one of Hatour's patients on the loose? Can I go into the maze?
The king says you are allowed to go.
Nothing bad will happen to me?
You are afraid of who you are.
What does that mean?
That it is safe for you. I'm only the messenger. The king says you may go. Do not seek further instruction. Just go and don't look back. Not everyone has this opportunity.
I would like your permission to go upstairs. I have to talk to Hator.
The king says you are not allowed. You may, though, go to his room.
If I don't go upstairs, where can I find his room?
There is a passage leading to it. The king will not help you find it, but neither will he obstruct you.
What are you doing? What's going on?
I'm not allowed to see it. You are free to step inside, though beware, it is a one-way pass. Once you get in, there is no coming back. You will have to find another way out.
Excuse me.
La gente que está loca.
Lucas said it's not possible to come back. Am I really ready to go in? I'm going in. What is this place? It's like I entered into a hellish nightmare, and there's no going back now. Antun Fero Istarski.
Gente para rara la de este juego. Está bueno el juego. Pero los croatas crearon un juego como que bien marihuanos. Porque varias de las cosas de este juego me hacen pensar mucho.
How is this possible? I remember this painting from the orphanage.
Huh.
My father, he used to tell me I'm nothing but a sin, and called me God's degenerate. My mother, the only person who stood up for me. My brothers and sisters from the orphanage. Horrible souls deserve a horrible fate.
O sea que tú mataste.
I must be losing my mind. Mother, is that really you? Kelly Sue Drayton. Why am I seeing you? The painting from the orphanage. How did it end up in this place? Lies. In the real painting, I was standing by your side, and there were no other children. Mother?
Qué raro.
I was waiting for you.
Demonic slave. Where is she? Where's my mother?
No! Ah!
¿Por qué? Pero, ¿por qué? Ey. ¿Por qué putas se me marihuaneó al man y me lo volvieron malvado? O sea, el creador del juego, ¿qué gana haciendo malvado a...
I wasn't sure I heard a voice, but I did. Victoria is here.
Habían dos puertas.
It's
Elegí la
dark.
principal.
My eyes could be deceiving me, but that doesn't seem to be.
Who goes there? I'm Lucia, the owner of this house.
I apologize, miss. I'm Benedict. Victoria is my sister.
Who's Victoria?
Rough day. Sorry. I meant Petra. Petra is my sister.
I didn't know she had a brother, and that he was coming with her to Sveti Kotar.
Nobody knew. It was a last-minute decision.
So where is she now?
We're trying to find her.
We? Who is we? And are there more people I don't know about?
Her husband, Nikolai, came as well.
I was told she was to come alone on Friday, October 28th. Rented the house for 3 nights. Said she wants to give herself a gift for the soul. A strange woman, I tell you that. Something happened?
Nothing in particular. We woke up and she was gone.
She's probably sightseeing. One can easily get lost in the beauty of the place. Lose track of time.
What happened here?
I didn't want to yell at you, but since you're asking, you tell me. I almost fainted out of sorrow after opening the door. Look at my bust, reduced to pieces. Somebody has to pay for the damage. Animals.
You'll have to ask the warden to pay for that. We left the house untouched.
The warden? What warden? Dr. Hatur?
Yes, Dr. Hatur.
But I did nothing wrong. Why would he come to my house? Was he looking for me?
I don't know. He didn't tell us the reason and we couldn't argue. A detective was with him.
Maybe they saw my art as blasphemous and heretical. Maybe they'll take me into the asylum. That's why he destroyed the bust in the stoop. He was sending a message. I'm doomed.
He won't take further action.
What do you mean? He was here for me.
Why would he cause this damage without taking you in? It doesn't make sense.
You think?
This looks like he was just giving a warning. Maybe because of something else you did.
I don't know what I did, but I can live with a warning. I'll try to be more careful from now on. Thank you.
Weren't you supposed to welcome us last night?
I told your sister I'll leave the key at the neighbors, and that I'll pass by later, after the castle.
You were at the castle?
Sure.
Did you see me there?
I was there only for a brief time. Couldn't stand all those people. But how could I see you when everyone has to wear... Wait a minute. Did you go inside without a mask?
No, of course not. Was she here after you came by?
I didn't make it. This right here is me visiting after the castle. You are a strange person. No wonder you two are relatives. Why are you asking all these questions?
Because she stayed in the house and fell asleep, and when I came back I couldn't find her. I don't know her whereabouts since last night.
You know, if you don't trust her, you should just talk to her. But if you already did, then my only advice is to talk to Madame Bena, my neighbor. She may be old, but she never misses a thing. Always lurking from that window of hers.
I already tried, but she either wasn't in the house or just ignored me.
Because she doesn't like strangers. What would you do? You must introduce yourself to her. Say exactly who you are and why you are looking to talk to her. Tell the truth. I heard that she had some sort of visions of the life of Ivan Kotar. the patron saint of the town. It's what allowed her to sneak into other people's houses as a babysitter.
I'll try to talk to her.
And do not go knocking on the door. She hates that.
Have you had any strange dreams in this house?
Whenever I don't have guests, I sleep here. And guests are as rare as the sun in this town. My dreams are always great. Why?
It's just that both Nikolai and I had a rough night's sleep with harrowing dreams.
That must have been the demon of tiredness, not the house. You had a long drive yesterday.
We opened the balcony door and found a strange mass.
So it was you who broke the glass on the door?
No, I just opened it. I promise.
Maybe those bloody crows did it. Wouldn't be the first time. It started recently. They come to the balcony, raking in mud, small twigs, and other crow filth. I tried to scare them off, but nothing is working. And they are very aggressive. I can't light a candle anymore. Whenever I do, they swarm outside and start scratching at the windows and door. The balcony is where they gather and ultimately die. It's like their graveyard or something. I can't explain it. If they don't back off soon, I'll have to start taking action. I don't want my guests to feel threatened.
Do you mind if I look around the house a bit?
Not at all. You're allowed to stay here for 2 more nights. Unless you want to pay to stay longer, of course.
That is something you should discuss with my sister. The blasphemous basin is destroyed. I approve of the act. I don't need it. This woman eerily reminds me of Victoria in her younger days, back when I could rely. Hideous. It's full of dead crows. Dozens and dozens of them. Never mind. The fireplace. It's full of dead crows.
I know. I've put them there.
Why?
To get rid of the bodies. Why else? But I am all out of matches, so for now, they just have to lay in the cold. You don't mind, do you?
No, not at all. It's your house.
But you're my guest.
This woman and her house are beyond salvation. Never mind.
Vamos para arriba. Se buguea mucho, pero pues es que ese juego creo que es de computadora. Sin embargo, es un gran juego. A mí personalmente me ha encantado lo que, bueno. ¿Ah?
For some reason, someone decided to wrap the carpet and put it here.
Pero
Must have been the warden who did this. What use is there in throwing books on the floor? It's a giant tree with a giant bowl. This bookshelf was full of books before. A lot of them are missing now. Everything is as we left it, but the crow's head is missing, and there's broken glass on the floor now. We left it on the table, with its front side facing the wall. Now it's up again, looking at me with those mean eyes. We left it on...
¿cuánto apostamos que la cucha no va a estar?
Never mind.
Yo no había visto esta puerta.
It's locked.
Le puedo preguntar a ella si tiene las llaves de ahí al lado. Es la casa de ella, ¿no? Debería tenerlas. Pero puede que no, ¿no? Puede que no. Por eso le quiero preguntar.
Never mind.
No, no me deja. Entonces no tiene importancia. Porque para que no me dejes, porque el lugar no tiene importancia en esos momentos. A mí el arte me parece terrorífico a veces. Ya te digo yo que mucho arte en mi casa yo no tendría. Ya dijo que no tocáramos.
Madame Vera? My name is Benedek. I spent the night at your neighbor's. Could I ask you some questions? The woman that came with me is my sister. We can't find her today. Did you see if she left the house sometime after we arrived last night? Have you seen her today, perhaps? Who are you? I must confess that I have a hard time reading your chalkboard. All right, no need to get upset, Madame Vera. I'll do my best to read from it. My name is Benedek, and... Vera is old, not deaf. Who are you? Benedek, I'm a monk from Budapest. What do you want from me, monk? I'm trying to find my sister. Have you seen her? No, but I heard last night. After we arrived? Much later, in the night, with a man. What man? Nikolai? No, the one who came here earlier today stayed in the house. The warden? Dr. Hathor? Him, the man with the demonic voice. What did Hathor and my sister do? Went into the forest together, talked there for a while, then silence. Where in the forest? At the crossroad, go straight into the forest. It's where the path leading from the town ends? Just go inside there. Once you find it, you will know. Did you hear what they talked about? No, sounded like whispering, praying, chanting. Can you describe Hathor? What is it? My eyes were taken from me. God has his ways. I'm sorry. God has nothing on this. I deserve punishment. I deserve solitude. You still questioning my words. I am sure I didn't see him, but it is the same man that stayed in the house. The demonic voice. I heard about your visions. I still have them. Visions of Ivan Kotar? His birth, life, the horrors of Udav, death in church. Can you tell me a bit more? Visions are mine. Don't want to talk about. I'm just curious, and please don't get upset. Why are you using a chalkboard to communicate? Piece of chalkboard. School damaged object. A present from someone special to me. I understand, but why don't you talk to me? Wouldn't that be easier and less painful for you? Tongue was torn out. I am eyeless and wordless. Terrible fate. I can't imagine the pain. Please forgive my ignorance. Who made you blind and mute? No need to tell me. The body of my sister. Your sister did this to you? A corpse now. She had to do it. It is my fault. Your sister, family. What could you have done to deserve such a cruel punishment? I provoked. I need to suffer for my faith. It is all I have left. Don't ask again. Excuse me. You are damaged. Missing soul you have. Excuse me? Cursed, like me, but a good man. Help me find the love of my life. He disappeared. I don't know this place. I don't know anyone here. Everyone knew my love. On a full moon night, he disappeared. Madam, I can't. As soon as I find my sister, I'm leaving and not coming back. Search for her at the same time. Look for him. You have to understand, it will take a miracle for me to find anyone in this valley. But tell me, what is his name? Yakov Prenger, town's former... A priest was your lover? He was to renounce his service, not faith. Dear God, I'll see what I can do. I have to go now.
Vea pues. Vea pues, qué razón, porque tengo que comer, tengo que dormir. Vea. Bueno, ¿por qué no entra? Mira, me perdió el balón. Lo acabo de coger con los piecitos. Bueno, hablemos con Lucía una última vez.
Never mind.
Bueno, parece que no. Tengo que hablar con Lucía. Hay algo que está faltando y no sé qué puedo hacer, porque si me devuelvo para atrás me estoy devolviendo. La pregunta aquí es... ¿por qué no puedo ir para acá?
I should wait here for now.
¿Esperar a qué? ¿Esperar a qué es?
The path the old lady told me about. It's too dark and terrifying.
Sí, pero te toca ir si quieres de verdad encontrar a tu hermana, ¿no?
All sorts of negative emotions are hitting me in this blackness, and I can't see a thing. I need light.
Ok, me tengo que volver porque necesito luz. Ahí es donde me imagino que llega en uso. Pues yo conozco donde hay un coso de luz.
Do you mind if I take this lamp?
That dust collecting thing is here because I inherited it with the house. Go ahead, but don't forget to return it.
Darker than this? It appears to be empty. I need to find some oil to make it work.
¿Y por qué no le preguntas a la dueña a ver dónde tiene aceite? Pero pregúntale, cabrón.
Never mind.
Obviamente ahí abajo aceite no hay, toca subir arriba. Toca subir, subir arriba, mal pálido. Toca subir, toca subir a ver si encuentro aceite arriba, pero no creo. Porque... ¿Dónde? ¿En el cuécano?
A giant bowl made out of clay, filled with what seems to be some type of oil. This should be enough.
Yo sí sabía que era aquí en esta casita porque en la otra no había nada. Así que Hatur es malo. O por lo menos eso parece. Toca esperar, ¿no? Pero por lo menos... Y le tienen miedo porque Lucía, apenas escuchó que él estuvo, se asustó. Así que le tiene miedo la gente a ese tal Hatur. Ey.
This feels wrong. If I didn't... I dare not to try this.
No entiendo. O sea... Pero es que no hay dónde probarlo.
I still remember my father's exact words. It has enough oil to work.
Sí, tiene suficiente. Pero ¿cómo lo prendo? Yo sé jugar. Llevo jugando todo el rato, pero ¿cómo prendo el hijo de puta? A no ser que sea antes de entrar al camino. Creo que es antes.
I should contemplate more about this decision.
¿Por qué?
I should contemplate.
No tiene sentido.
This feels wrong.
Tuve una gran idea.
If I didn't come here, thoughts like this would never cross my mind. I have no faith in the outcome. Never mind. I have no faith. Do you happen to have any spare matches? I will. Excuse me. I can see a matchbox and as long. It's empty.
Bueno, vamos a hablar con la señora para acabar ya este directo. Vamos a hacer
This feels wrong. I have some spare matches for the fireplace. Here, take a few.
For the crows. Thank you. You know, you've been good to me. I would still be going crazy if you didn't calm me down about the warden. I want you to have something of mine.
What is this?
It was given to me by the prophet. It'll help you get through the darkest of times.
It's a hideous...
I don't believe in unearthly phenomena, but the prophet says this whistle can ward off any demon in your vicinity. When blown, it produces a frightening scream. But remember, use it wisely, and don't show it to anyone else.
All right. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. I don't like it, but I'll keep it. Maybe it could help me in ways I can't imagine right now.
Bueno, ya tenemos Espere. Logro desbloqueado. Death Whistle. Find the special creepy item. Bueno. Vamos a dejar hasta acá. Porque tengo escuela. Vamos a suscribir uno. Voy a dejar el otro porque... Ahí está. Escribimos sobre este. Este no. Este lo vamos a dejar. Y ya con eso lo dejamos. Hasta la próxima. Fueron más de 2 horas. Un juego muy interesante, la verdad. Espero que les haya gustado. Hasta la